I'll use mine if you need to. I'll just talk loud. There you go.
Thanks. All right. I will call to order the January 22nd, 2026 regular meeting. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call, please?
President Ruffing.
Here.
Vice President Anzier, absent. Commissioner Balkrishna. Here. Commissioner Jacks.
Here.
Commissioner Janner.
Here.
Commissioner Risvold.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
President Ruffing, I've been informed that Vice President Anzier has requested to participate remotely due to illness.
Move to allow remote meeting participation of Vice President Ansier per Section 7 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold.
Yes.
Commissioner Balkrishna.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks.
Yes.
Commissioner Janner.
Yes.
President Ruffing.
Yes. Vice President Ansier, can you hear us okay? Oh, sorry. Is she not here yet? All right. Do we have any matters from the public?
Yes, I will call up Steve Cushman.
Speaking at the city. Hi, my name is Steve Cushman. I'm a longtime resident of the city of Naperville, and I'm here to representing a group called Affordable Naperville. Affordable Naperville is an independent, rapidly growing group that is concerned about rising costs and affordability in the city of Naperville, especially concerning residents who are struggling financially and can least afford unnecessary cost of living increases. We are recommending a no vote for this referendum on March 17th. The reason is that this is a massive expenditure by Park District standards, and the district website support is seriously lacking, in our opinion, in fiscal transparency by ignoring key information. You should each have a handout. I'm going to go through these briefly since I only have 3 minutes, and you can read them at your leisure. As I said, this is a massive expenditure. This $120 million is 230% of the $52 million spending last year for the Park District. That's the biggest single project, biggest that Park District has ever done by a far margin. That's not really readily apparent when one reads the literature and starts going into the website. What are the guardrails on this? This is not only a massive dollar project, this is a 3-year construction time frame. What can go wrong? A lot of stuff can go wrong. And what's going to happen if it goes wrong, and especially if it goes up? Given the size of the number, if it goes up a mere 15%, that's $18 million more. That's all on the taxpayer's back. The only guardrail I understand is, well, we'll figure it out. I don't know. I think the property tax bill information is very misleading. Not that it's incorrect, but it's misleading, and then it ignores that this is a 28% bump in the dollar amount that the average taxpayer on this $500,000 home is going to pay. And that's 28% is a big bump. Also, there's a focus on 5% of the property tax bill. It's like it's a teeny little thing. Everything is teeny in the property tax bill if you take out schools. Schools is 77%. Number 2 is a city at 7%. Number 3 is a park district at 5%. And if this passes, it'll be 6%. I have a hard time getting my head around it even being that close to the city property tax share. That's misleading. People should know that. What's wrong with putting an executive summary in the front of this thing, in front of the website, so people see this stuff? The public opinion survey from December 5th, I think it was, 2025, there was a section asking how confident people are in fiscal management of the Park District. Only 35% of people said highly confident. I don't think that's a very high result. And what would they think if they saw some of these disclosures that I'm asking as to why weren't they in the initial website? Naperville has a very large population that lives at a lower income level. Almost 25% of Naperville households are low income. Low income would be income less than $75,000. That's a lot of people. And those are the people that are going to pay for this thing. But how are the families of that group going to afford $2,200 a year for the annual family membership if those estimates are right? And given a 3-year construction period, that's questionable. There's also duplicate facilities for aquatics. I'm going over 3 minutes, sorry. There's duplicate facilities for aquatics down in that general area in southwest Naperville where this thing is going to be built. Why wasn't that talked about? There's a YMCA, Fry YMCA, that has 8 lanes. Anyway, I think I'm done. But the Park District, I've always thought of very positively, I just want to say. And I still like to think I could trust the Park District, but this is really seriously testing the level of trust with a lack of disclosure. Fiscal disclosure is supposed to be high quality. This is not high quality.
Thank you so much for coming tonight and for your remarks.
Thank you very much.
And for sharing the information with all of us.
If you have any questions, Melissa has my email.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up, the WDSRA annual visit.
Good evening. Nice to see you all tonight. This is always my favorite visit of the 9 that I do because proud Napervillian on my way home, but really just have a very positive opinion of the Naperville Park District. One of the reasons that my family moved there, and professionally, we have up here our 24-25 gratitude report. I've been with WDSRA for 5 years now, and I think each year I understand a little bit more the collaboration and the culture that we have between our agencies that really fosters the high level of service that we deliver to our residents. I work in a growing area of growing need. I know there's tremendous demand for your services as well. It takes a lot of communication and coordination to make it go well. Brad, Andrea, the whole team here is always very receptive. So if you don't take away anything else tonight, it's just that we love working with your team, and we get a lot of good feedback too. So with that said, Special Recreation 101, as I go around, we've got a lot of new commissioners this year, so just some quick highlights, how we work together, cooperative agreements between park districts, 2 or more, we have 9. Senate Bill 1881 made it possible for you all to levy $5-8 special rec fund, ADA projects, ongoing needs with regards to that. We offer joint programming and inclusion services. We serve a wide range of populations: autistic, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, very long list, veterans, traumatic injuries, and hearing and vision impaired. SRA Quick Facts, we have 33 SRAs throughout Illinois. It is unique to Illinois, and I think one of the better examples of cooperative governments and efficiency in services. We serve over 200 communities, and our agency is happy to be celebrating its 50th anniversary. I feel like I've been talking about that for 3 years. We're finally at our anniversary year. I touched on some of these just a second ago. The services are core menu of items: inclusion, where we bring a staff member, a trained staff member, into your program to adapt it and make it successful for all parties. We offer exclusive WDSRA programming, which is designed from the ground up for the cohort with disabilities. Rec and Roll is our community day program that serves 22 and older. We have 2 sites here in Naperville. We have 7 throughout Western DuPage. Very unique program. Most SRAs do offer some form of this, but I think we lead in the number of sites, and this operates about 365, 5 days a week. And disability awareness, we're happy to be a partner and come in and look at your spaces or your programs and provide feedback on how we can improve that experience. So again, focused on Naperville, we have the 2 rec and roll sites, one right here at Fort Hill, one at Sportsman's. We collaborate on a lot of special events and partnerships. Inclusion requests, this is something I've been talking about for at least the last 2 visits here, that the inclusion requests are exploding, that population continues to grow. Brad is a part of my board. We have 4 or 5 members that we've been working on an inclusion task force and really looking at the whole chain of events that leads to what triggers an inclusion request, how is it met, how is it served going forward, and really looking to make sure that we're delivering efficient services and that the inclusion dollars are going to serve those residents who truly need it. And then foundation support, we're always thankful. We have 2 big fundraising events. Naperville is always very supportive, and we appreciate that, and hopefully we'll see some of you at the Bash coming up in March. These are the yearly numbers. We fulfilled about 10,000 recreation requests last year, both in our programs and inclusion. Naperville represents about 30 to 35% of that total pie, which is not surprising given the population of Naperville. And I always touch on where we see people or where they come to WD. On the inclusion side, we get them young, they get a diagnosis, they want to help their person succeed both in school and out of school, and they need more things to make a full life. And then on the WDSRA side, when they age out of education, they often come back to us, and you see the age range of our regular programs up top. That spikes up heavily at 22 and beyond. Our foundation, we're very fortunate to have a robust fundraising arm. Predates my time at WDSRA, but we have a lot of passionate donors and business partners. You can see last year we raised almost $1 million in cash and in-kind gifts, which is wonderful. All of that activity, really, we're directing it to our scholarship endowment. We're on the verge of meeting our $750,000 goal that we set 3 years ago. It looks very unfunded there, but the foundation board took some action before this went to press, and it's well over $600,000. So we hope to reach that goal this spring. And then what is it all about? It's about meeting 100 or 200 scholarship requests that come in and helping people meet their financial need to experience access to recreation. Cheers to 50 years. Talked about that a little bit. This is the fun that we get to celebrate for the next 11 months or so. We actually have our first kind of community event tomorrow night, and we'll be partnering with all our member agencies to highlight this, spread the news, and have a few special events along the way. With that, very proud of the agency. We achieved distinguished accreditation status last year, so we'll be going down to a conference next week with a little time in the spotlight. We're going to continue working on the inclusion process and what that looks like and how we fulfill those, and then just celebrating our 50th anniversary. So with that, happy to take any feedback or questions from the board.
No questions? Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks.
Thank you for everything that you
Awesome.
do for the community. It's always great to hear from you, and we'll see you next week.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, Marissa, will you please read the consent agenda?
Item 4.1, approve December 2025 disbursements made through the Bank of America Purchasing Card Program in the amount of $317,611.88. 4.2, approve January 8th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. 4.3, approve January 8th, 2026 executive session closed meeting minutes. 4.4, authorize the executive director to issue a purchase order to Play Power LT Farmington, Inc. in coordination with Park Recreation, Inc. in the amount of $123,894 for play equipment for the Apache Park Playground Renovation Project procured through the district's membership in the Sourcewell Purchasing Network. 4.5, authorize the executive director to issue a purchase order to Play Illinois in coordination with BCI Burke Company in the amount of $125,000 for play equipment for the Burr Oak Playground Renovation Project procured through the district's membership in the Sourcewell Purchasing Network. 4.6, authorize the executive director to issue a purchase order to Landscape Structures in coordination with New Toys Leisure Products in the amount of $125,067 for play equipment for the Fox Hill Greens Playground Renovation renovation project procured through the district's membership in the Sourcewell Purchasing Network. 4.7, authorize the executive director to issue a purchase order to Game Time in coordination with Cunningham Recreation in the amount of $123,000 or $123,025.67 for play equipment for the Queensberry Greens Playground renovation project procured through the district's membership in the Sourcewell Purchasing Network. 4.8, authorize the executive director to issue a purchase order to Play Power LT Farmington Inc. in coordination with Park Recreation Inc. in the amount of $124,547.64 for play equipment for the Willoway Park Playground renovation project procured through the district's membership in the Sourcewell Purchasing Network. 4.9, award the contract for the 2026 T-shirt base bid to Sunburst Sportswear in the amount of $94,667.33. 4.10, award the contract for the 2026 T-shirt bid alternate number 1 to TPS Sports in the amount of $32,038.92.
And should any items be removed from the consent agenda and to be considered separately? Seeing none.
Move to accept consent agenda items 4.1 through 4.10.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Riswald?
Yes.
Vice President Ancier?
I think the phone's battery dead. The battery's dead. Oh, sorry.
I can't hear every single person, so I'm sorry I missed my name being called.
No problem.
Vice President Ancier?
Yeah.
Commissioner Balakrishna? Yes. Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
President Ruffing?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 4.1 through 4.10.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, no unfinished business, so we'll move on to discussion new business, starting with 6.1, the Alfred Rubin Riverwalk Community Center elevator modernization.
Yes, good evening. A contract for the Alfred Rubin Riverwalk Community Center, also known as the ARRCC Elevator Modernization Project, is slated to be presented to the Park Board for approval at a meeting in February. Originally installed in 1996, the elevator at ARRCC is at the end of its useful life and in need of renovation. Rather than a full replacement of the elevator, a modernization scope is recommended to bring the elevator up to the most current building and accessibility code requirements. Pending contract approval, work can be expected to start approximately 18 weeks following contract award, with the on-site construction activities taking 4 to 6 weeks to complete. The intent is to perform the work during the month of August, when activity in the building is at its lowest. So just an update on that.
Good idea. Okay, any questions? Thank you. 6.2, Commissioners Park Sports Lighting Retrofit.
A contract for this project is scheduled to be presented to the Park Board for approval at the February 12th, 2026 meeting. The scope of work for this project includes retrofitting all of the existing metal halide sports lights at Commissioners Park with LED sports lights fixtures. This includes multi-purpose fields D, E, F, as well as sand volleyball courts. The Park Districts first installed these sports lights in 2003 and relamped the fixtures in 2013 under the original warranty, which has since expired. The new light fixtures will be mounted on top of the existing light poles with the appropriate spill and glare reduction components aligned with the Park District's sustainable outdoor lighting practices, resulting in significant energy savings to the Park District, and will carry a 25-year warranty. Pending contract approval, work is scheduled to occur in the spring with no impact to recreational programming at Commissioners Park.
Great. Thank you. 6.3, Fort Hill Activity Center electrical system repairs.
Per the December 26, 2025 weekly packet memo report, staff responded to a power outage at Fort Hill Activity Center last August. Park District staff observed that the 1600A bolted pressure switch on the main electrical switchgear, which serves as the high current disconnect protection device for the facility, was tripped, and called in Fitzgerald's Electric Contracting, the company that originally installed the Fort Hill Activity Center electrical system, to assist with troubleshooting the issue. Since then, Park District staff have been collaborating with representatives from Fitzgerald Electrical Contracting, the original project architect, Williams Architects, Burke Engineering, as well as Paderma's designated electrical engineer, to identify and confirm the necessary repairs needed and how to further monitor and protect the system in the future. Once a solution and scope is confirmed for the Fort Hill Activity Center electrical system repairs. Staff will present a contract to the board for consideration and approval at a future park board meeting.
Thank you for that update. Moving right along to 6.4, Ron Ori Community Garden Plot Site Improvements and Knock Park South Parking Lot Lighting Installation Project Change Order Number 1.
So at the May 5th, 2025 meeting, the Park Board awarded the Ron Ori Community Garden Plot Site Improvements and Knock Park South Parking Lot Lighting Installation Project contract to V3 Construction Group in the amount of $1,229,500 with a substantial completion date of January 2nd of 2026. Due to inclement weather starting on November 29, 2025, and unfavorable conditions for outdoor construction activities, the substantial completion date for the project is recommended to be shifted from January 2nd, 2026 to May 1st of this year. Prior to the inclement weather, the project contractor was on schedule and had completed the concrete curbing and flat work, raised garden beds, sub-drainage, the installation of the parking lot stone base, as well as the lighting pole bases and all underground electrical wiring. The next main work items include the placement of the permeable pavers in the community garden plots parking lot area, followed by the installation of the light poles and fixtures along West Street and in Knock Park South parking lot. These work items are planned to occur as soon as weather conditions allow and are not expected to delay the start of the seasonal garden plots program in the spring of 2026. The intent is to review this topic this evening in preparation for presenting change order 1, needed to formally authorize the extension of time for their approval at the February 12, 2026 meeting. It is important to mention that change order 1 only involves an extension of time and no change to the contract amount.
Thank you. It is looking good out there. I have to
Thank
say.
you.
Yeah, they've been out there like every day.
Yeah.
So, okay. Did or Commissioner Jander, do you have a question?
Nope.
Okay.
right,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. All right, moving on to 6.5, fleet vehicle and equipment purchase.
Good evening. Staff intend on presenting several pieces of equipment for approval at a meeting in February, including 3 zero-turn mowers, a 144-inch batwing mower, a utility vehicle, and an F-250 Ford pickup truck for use within the Parks Department, as well as 2 Park Police pickup trucks. All equipment would be secured via pricing contracts awarded through purchasing networks. Each unit was listed in the 2026 Fleet Vehicle and Equipment Replacement Plan included in the 2026 capital budget. Funds are available to make each purchase, and more information will be provided in an upcoming weekly packet.
Okay, great. Any questions? Thank you. Moving on to 6.6, declaration of surplus, one of our favorites.
Yep, staff have identified several items no longer needed for Park District purposes, and we anticipate providing a declaration of surplus property ordinance for approval at the February 12th, 2026 regular meeting of the board. At this time, a detailed list of the items supplied by multiple departments is still being finalized and will be provided in an upcoming weekly packet. As is our normal practice, once the declaration is approved, each item would be sold, recycled, traded in, or disposed of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any question? No. Thank you. All right, moving on to 6.7, autonomous mower purchase. Thank you, Chris.
Good evening. Included in your January 16th weekly packet was a memo detailing the requested purchase of autonomous mowers for use on the golf courses. A purchasing contract is expected to be presented to the Park Board for consideration at a February meeting. The use of autonomous mowers on golf courses is quickly becoming more prevalent based on the improved technology and the benefits of reduced labor and fuel cost, along with zero emissions and quiet operation. Staff has been investigating the use of these mowers to most select areas on the course, including having an extended trial with different models at both golf courses. Staff was impressed with the performance of the mowers, testing them in different environments, including different types of turf and different types of weather conditions. The proposed mowers are expected to be used specifically on the driving range at both golf courses, which will help to reduce the time needed to close the range for maintenance and providing more availability for patrons. Staff is requesting approval of the purchase 2 Toro Turf Pro 500 SL autonomous mowers using the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract for a total price of $76,757.34. There is $80,000 allocated for this purchase in the 26 golf capital budget, and pending contract approval, delivery of the equipment is expected later this spring with expectations we'd be using these for the 2026 season.
That's great. Does anybody have questions? Is there like, this is maybe kind of a dumb question.
No?
Do the people that opt, because I feel like, I know when we use the autonomous with contractors, do you have to be be specifically like trained to use those? I'm just curious.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, there is training involved with the operation of
Yeah.
the units, but once they are set up, they're pretty much on their own.
Easy,
They set
yeah.
up in a certain GPS area, and then they know exactly where they're going to be mowing.
Cool. That's great. Thank you. 6.8 golf course fence improvements.
Also included in the January 16th weekly packet was a memo detailing the Naperville and Springbrook Golf Course fence improvements project. Contract for this project is expected to be presented to the board for approval at a park board meeting in February. Bids for this project have been solicited and are expected to be open on January 28th. With the scope of this work for this project includes the installation of a 6-foot-high black vinyl coated chain link fence on the west property line at Naperbrook, and also a 8-foot-high black vinyl coated chain link fence along the north side of the Springbrook Golf Course driving range. A total of $100,000 is allocated in the 2026 golf capital budget for these projects, and pending contract approval work is expected to take place in early spring.
Okay. All right. 6.9 golf greens mower purchase.
Also in your January 16th weekly packet was a memo detailing the purchase of Toro E-Triflex hybrid mowers. That purchase contract is expected to be presented to the park board for consideration at a February meeting. The mowers being presented are hybrid mowers, which have the benefit of 20% less fuel use, along with reduced emissions and less noise. These specialized mowers will be used to mow greens and tees, and each course has several currently being used that have provided excellent performance. The purchase price for the two mowers is $140,726, also using the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract. There is $414,000 allocated for golf course equipment purchases in the 2026 golf capital budget. Pending contract approval, we expect these mowers to be delivered sometime later in the spring.
Mowers. All right. And last but not least, 6.10 golf bank mower purchase.
Yes, lastly, also in the January 16th weekly packet was a memo detailing the purchase of a 2026 Toro Groundsmaster 3500D. That purchase contract is expected to be presented to the park board also sometime in February. The specific mower is used to mow several acres of tee and green banks. At each course, it uses a specialized rotary deck that can shift the mowing deck side to side, which allows operators to be able to mow around obstacles such as bunker banks with less issues of things getting hit or falling into them. The Toro Groundsmaster 3500D purchase price is $50,062.26. There is $414,000 allocated for golf course purchases in the 2026 golf capital budget. Pending contract approval, delivery of the mower is expected also later this spring.
All right. Thank you for all that mower information. I don't think anyone has any
Thank you.
questions. Thank you. All right, moving on to department updates, starting with 7.1 administration.
Yes, good evening. As you're aware, we're pursuing CAPRA reaccreditation in 2026, so I wanted to share good news that the district has finalized and submitted our 2026 CAPRA report, which is that first step of the reaccreditation process. The in-person CAPRA visit is scheduled for spring of this year, and more information will be shared with the board regarding that visit.
Great, thank you so much. Moving on to finance.
I have two updates for you this evening. I'm going to start out with the 2025 audit. Our finance team is currently closing fiscal year 2025 and preparing for final field work, which is scheduled for the week of February 9th. And we are also underway with our review of financial policies. Staff is collaborating with legal counsel and our financial experts to update drafts, or to complete draft updates, which we will be submitting to the Finance Committee at the February meeting. Following their recommendation, the updates will be brought to the full board for consideration, and as we get closer to that date, we will get those draft recommended updates in your weekly packet.
Great, looking forward to that. Okay. Thank you so much. Next up, back to golf.
All right, just a couple quick updates from golf. Preparation continues for the 2026 golf season, both for clubhouse and our maintenance staffs. In the clubhouses, a membership renewal for our current Brooks Links members is underway. We currently have about 60% of our membership already renewed, and we're expecting most of the remaining members will renew. But if we have any openings, those will be quickly filled from our current wait list. Staff has also been communicating with our leagues, our permanent tee time groups, with the goal of having them all renewed and scheduled before the season. Clubhouse and maintenance staff are also in the process of interviewing for open positions at the golf courses. Fortunately, many of our part-time staff members from last year have provided commitments to return for the 2026 season, which will help limit the number of new staff we're going to need this year. Many qualified applicants were in attendance at the job fair earlier this month or have applied online and given our managers an excellent pool of prospective employees to contact for interviews. It is expected managers will have most of those positions filled by opening day. And over on the maintenance side, the lack of snow cover and colder temperatures right now, but those have given us excellent opportunities to be out in the course to do some tree work. And when the weather forces our staff inside, they're busy completing preventive maintenance on all our golf course equipment, along with making sure all mowers are serviced and ready for the golf season. The goal for both our clubhouse and maintenance staff is to be ready for the season around March 15th. Course conditions and the weather will be the two main factors that go into deciding when that actual date will be. Just probably not yet tomorrow.
Probably not, no. Any questions? Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, on to human resources.
Good evening. I know Kevin mentioned the annual community job fair, but I did want to mention that the job fair that was held on January 3rd, that is co-sponsored by the district and Kids Matter, had over 1,100 attendees, which is the most that we've ever had. Each hiring area met with a large number of applicants, and our day camp area specifically gathered nearly 8 pages of contact information from individuals interested in positions within that program. So that is very, very exciting for those areas. The district will still host 2 Naperville Park District specific job fairs in March. We try to schedule those around spring breaks, and they will be held here in the lobby, and information will be forthcoming on those dates. The HR team is also gearing up for the 2026 hiring season by updating and scheduling supervisor training, which they're all very excited about. To speak a little bit more about CAPRA, in 2027, the CAPRA standards are changing. We're going from about the 154 standards down to 67, and the way those standards are scored will be within a rubric format. So NRPA has a CAPRA training committee, and I'm on that committee. And so we're working on training for that purpose, and then also training for the upcoming visit teams. So on February 2nd, I will be presenting on behalf of NRPA and CAPRA a session online on advisors. Advisors play an important role in the CAPRA review team, is that lifeline, phone a friend kind of thing, and that step kind of away from the team who's really deep into it. If there are questions, they can look at a broader scale and support the team while they're doing their visit. So kind of excited about that. Who is that? Gotcha. Okay. I was like, who left their phone up here? Any questions on any of that I can answer? No? All right. Thank you.
So. Thank you so much. 7.5 IT.
Good evening, everyone. Just one update from IT to start off January. I'm coming up like every year on annual cybersecurity training. So each year, all employees and all commissioners complete this training. It's required for our cyber incident insurance coverage, and it's critically important. The reality is that about 80 to 90% of cyber incidents can be attributed to end user errors, with human factors like poor password practices, clicking on phishing links, and accidental data leaks being the primary causes. Along with the rapidly growing presence of AI everywhere, it's just magnifying a lot of those user-based risks. So providing ongoing education on these topics, it's not just a check-the-box task for our insurance coverage. It really is a critical part of our overall cybersecurity protection, and really just for the well-being for all staff and commissioners that go through it. Over the course of the next month, those enrollments into the training will be going out for all of you and all staff.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Marketing?
Good evening. I have a pretty lengthy update tonight, so please bear with me. I'd like to start with, I gave all the commissioners one of our welcome booklets here, and I just wanted to make everybody aware, I know this came up during the strategic planning process of sending out a new resident mailing, and that's something that we've actually done for quite a long time. It's had different iterations. Kind of way back in the day, it was an envelope that had individual flyers and information on our programs and events and things of that nature. So to this point, we've migrated to this nice booklet. It really highlights a lot of the main aspects of the Park District, includes some coupons in the back. Additionally, we have this in our facilities without the coupons, just for as people come into our facilities, they can take one of these and find out more about the district. It's kind of a starting point. So wanted to make everybody aware of that. I also wanted to provide the Q4 2025 social media update, as I've been doing over the last year or so. So we've seen a significant increase in reach and video performance overall, which is great now that we've had our digital marketing specialist on board for a little over a year at this point. October through December, Facebook and Instagram have performed well engagement-wise, and I've got some data here to share. 21 Facebook posts topped 10,000 views each. So 21 posts had over 10,000 views, which is pretty spectacular. 26 Instagram posts reached more than 2,000 views each as well. So we're continuing to see this upward trend of engagement, which is what we'd hope we'd see. And that's a lot to do with the rich video content that we're producing, a lot of the drone content that we're producing as well, and an emphasis on educating the public as far as a lot of the processes that we do and why and how and all of that. So we're seeing a nice result from that. It's been one of our strongest quarters yet for overall visibility. Another data point, or not even a data point, but just letting you know that we posted the first long-form video on our YouTube channel. I had mentioned last time I did a report that we are increasing our presence on YouTube, especially with us being able to produce the video podcast now. And kind of the fun thing about the YouTube channel and the recent video that we posted for January, which features our Parks and Trade staff, is that we've got a new setup for our podcast studio, which President Ruffing and Executive Director Wilson saw that yesterday, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But that's, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can watch that video and kind of see what it looks like and what we're doing from a podcast standpoint. We've really made a lot of improvements over that over the last, it's been 7 or almost 8 years that we've been doing a podcast. So pretty excited about that as well. I also wanted to provide some information on some of the paid advertising that we've been doing. Last quarter, I mentioned that's something that we're going to be taking a look at, being very strategic as far as some of the advertising, paid advertising we're doing on Facebook and being able to target specific groups. So we did a birthday parties ad, which reached more than 22,000 Facebook accounts with a low cost per landing page view of 31 cents each, which is very economical. And then spring soccer registration that had a theme of 50 years of Naperville youth soccer. The paid campaign brought in an estimated $31,000 from a combination of individual and team registrations. Now, before you ask, those aren't all new players, but it's just a conduit for people coming in and registering. We're going to continue to optimize our performance and kind of what the data that we're able to gather and what we're able to do with that data, but this is just kind of a starting point for that as well. More to come on that. Moving on, as we've talked about, so the 2026 state conference is next week, and the Naperville Park District is going to be well represented once again. We have 4 different presentations. Charting the course, strategic planning for the journey ahead. I will be presenting with Mel Henriksen from NIU and also Dave Moore, who's the Executive Director of the Lindenhurst Park District. So that's pretty exciting. That's going to be on Thursday. Also on Thursday, Connor Bangs, who's our Digital Marketing Specialist, is going to be presenting with 2 of our park staff, Jesse Barr and Tiffany Pico, Bridging the Gap, Turning Parks Projects into Powerful Social Media Stories. And as I just mentioned a little while ago, that's really been an emphasis for us over the last year, providing video content that educates our residents. So they're going to be able to talk about best practices and share a lot of the great work that we've been doing along those lines. Friday is Name It to Claim It, Unlocking the Power of Naming Rights Partnerships, and that's going to be Stacy Fontesha, along with me and Grant Cowan from Naperville Bank and Trust. So we'll be talking about that. And then Saturday, Managing Teen Takeovers, Events, Strategies, Challenges, and Collaborative Solutions is Chief Schindelbeck and our own Dirk Price. So, like I said, well represented and looking forward to that and being a part of conference next week. Additionally, I know I've mentioned in the past that I'm part of the Conference Programs Committee. I'm adding another feather in my cap. I was asked to join the IAPD-IPRA Joint Editorial Committee. So I will be instrumental in producing the magazine that comes out every other month, the IPNR magazine, and I'm looking forward to that. I was recently recruited by the IPRA Executive Director, so I'm going to go to conference and learn more about that and my responsibilities next week, so we'll see where that goes. Kind of excited about that. And then lastly, State of the Park District, the 2026 edition. Changing it up a little bit this year, as President Ruffing and Executive Director Wilson know. Previous years, we've had, the podcast has been anywhere from 4 to 6 episodes, has featured different staff, different board members. What we really wanted to do was make this a lot more conversational. It's one episode, it's about 38 minutes long, and I think it's a really nice overview of kind of what we did last year as a district, what we're looking to do this year, and it's a very kind of, it's casual but fun and informative, and I'll be really interested to see what all of you think and our community thinks as well. So looking forward to feedback on that.
Yes, everyone has to give us your feedback. I'm teasing. I'm going to be quizzing everyone. I'm kidding. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled for you that you're getting like all your involvement with IAPD and IPRA.
Me too.
That's amazing because it looks good for all of us. So thank you for it's extra work. I know that. So
it's fun.
Thank you for
it.
putting effort into that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
I know that was a lot.
No, it was all very informative. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Park Police.
Good evening. At this time of the year, I kind of like to frame what we did over the previous year and kind of tell you where we're going next year. Through 2025, we handled about 993 calls for service, which was actually consistent with 2024. We wrote 92 police reports, again, consistent with what we did in 2024. This year, however, we only wrote 48 crime reports, down from the 66 in 2024. And we wrote 10 criminal damage reports, which is down from 26 in 2024. So that seems to be trending in the right direction. We wrote 205 tickets, up from 120 in 2024. We handled 7 encroachment investigations, down from the 10 that we handled in 2024. We definitely refined our approach to teen takeovers all summer long. And more importantly, we actually increased our collaboration with the surrounding park districts, not just the surrounding police departments that we look to for assistance with stuff like this. So I would say that the collaboration is better now than it's ever been. We retired our second ATV in 2026, so I actually consolidated our 2 ATVs into the 1 UTV that we use, and we just reached 14,000 miles on that over 3 years for an average of about 4,600 miles a year. So we're definitely getting our use out of that year round. I was able to promote my 2 full-time lieutenants to the rank of, my 2 full-time sergeants to the rank of lieutenant, to create a practical chain of command for the entire department and seamless operation if I'm absent. The 3 retirements brought the total number of sworn in the department down to 16, with 3 being full-time. This is really the leanest this department's been in 20 years. The good news being that these fewer officers are each working more hours, so they're more vested in the overall patrol operations throughout the entire year, not just the summer when they've typically worked the most hours. And lastly, we are looking forward to our iLEAP accreditation, slated to be completed by the end of this year.
I really appreciate that update. Does anyone have any questions for Chief? Okay, thank you for all your hard work. Parks.
As hard as it is to believe, the last time we met on January 8th, the area hit nearly 60 degrees. And if you remember that night, we had a ton of rainfall. Luckily, that wasn't snow. I know the area actually had a few streets that flooded, so staff took advantage of that seasonally moderate weather and visited a bunch of parks to clean out storm drains, make sure we didn't have any more flooding. But also, as Director Carlson had mentioned, that allowed us to do activities like tree work, clean up landscape beds. I walked the Riverwalk that week, and crews were out there in full force cleaning up leaves and other debris. We litter picked the parks, completed work in natural areas, and then if you happen to notice, the Riverwalk crews also removed and stored away a bunch of the holiday decorations. So this week ushered in the much cooler temps, culminating in tomorrow's negative temps when staff get to report for their shifts. Between the snow events we had this week, staff also spent time indoors refinishing and repainting soccer frames, trash cans, Shepherd's Crook lighting, and picnic tables and benches. Watched annual safety training videos and updated SDS training materials and insurer-mandated tool inventories. As of Tuesday afternoon, the ice rinks at Wolf's Crossing, Gardner, Centennial, and Nike Park were all open for use. A bit more on the Centennial rink. We struggled with getting the basin to hold water when filling in mid-December. While we were able to open the other 3 locations, we found that the water was slowly draining from the Centennial Basin while freezing at the very top. This resulted in a hollow pocket of air between the ground and that surface ice that was very easy to break through. Despite multiple efforts, we could not get a solid layer of ice to form safe enough to use. When the warmer January weather hit and the remaining ice and snow melted, staff revisited the site and packed clay into every nook and cranny around each of the storm basins that they encountered, or storm drains that they encountered. This seemed to have helped. Though not solving the issue, the water is draining much more slowly. With the colder temps, it now has a chance to freeze in place rather than drain away, and it allowed us to open the rink for this go-around. We reached out to the city's stormwater division, and they've offered to inspect the stormwater grates and subsurface piping when conditions allow. In the meantime, it appears that Mother Nature is providing us with conditions that should allow for an extended period of skating, and as of now, the green flags are up.
I think Tiffany was saying with that Centennial, it needs like 3 or 4 full days of like under 15, or right?
Yeah,
like it need multiple days of really cold weather for it to really get.
The basin, as big as it is, it's a large volume of water that needs to freeze. So when we were able to kind of get those slowly build it up to get those layers to freeze, it works to our advantage, and the cold temps certainly help.
Yeah, well, the next week we might get like record ice skating rink time this winter. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up is planning and development.
I have 2 items for the board this evening. First one is great news. Nike Sports Complex site improvements and OSLAG grant. On January 14th, staff received information that the Naperville Park District was awarded $600,000 for the Open Space Land Acquisition and Development, otherwise known as OSLAG grant program, through the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for the Nike Sports Complex improvements. In addition to receiving the $600,000 grant, Naperville Little League Baseball committed to donating $200,000 toward the transition of the 2 ball fields to synthetic turf and fields. The proposed improvements to Nike Sports Complex are the result of extensive input received from residents in 2024 as part of the site master plan development process. The alternative funding available through the grant and donation will assist Park District with fast-tracking the implementation of these park improvements for the benefit of the community. As the next step, staff will work with representatives of ID&R to develop a grant agreement and present an A&E service contract to the Park Board for consideration at future Park Board meetings. Construction activities are anticipated to take place beginning in summer-fall of 2026 through 2028. So that's the first update. Second update, just as it relates to the planning, trades, and custodial divisions for the first quarter of 2026. Planning division staff are in the process of preparing designs, permit documents, and bid packages for 2026 capital improvements. In addition to Planning Division, I want to talk a little bit about Custodial Division and Trades Division. For the Custodial Division, work items include deep cleaning and sanitation of the gymnastics area of here at the Fort Hill Activity Center, cleaning of chair upholstery at Fort Hill, and cleaning of chair upholstery at Alfred Rubin Riverwalk Community Center. Deep cleaning at Naperville and Springbrook Golf Course clubhouses. For the Trades Division, work items include HVAC equipment replacement at Paddleboat Quarry Rentals building, reconfiguring of the storage shelves at the Brooks Academy building at Springbrook Golf Course, completion of ADA transition plan task at South Maintenance Facility, Park Restroom buildings, Naperbrook and Springbrook Golf Course clubhouses, painting of the Park Support Building restrooms at DuPage River Sports Complex, Frontier Sports Complex at Commissioners Park, installation of new ice machines at Naperbrook and Springbrook Golf Course clubhouses, and lastly, repairs to the driveway entrance gate at the Frank Russ property. So just some updates this evening.
Great. Any questions? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And recreation.
Good evening. As we close out 2025, I wanted to provide you with a couple of final numbers. Final recap of the fee assistance program for this year. The Park District provided assistance to 274 participants in 2025, which is down from 2024, but still higher than we saw in 2022 and 2023. In 2026, we will be assessing the overall program. Staff will look at the criteria used for eligibility and the different ways to make it easier for families to apply and to use the assistance. Also, as a final recap of the 2025 program participation numbers, we ended the year with over 62,000 patrons participating in Park District programs during the year. As expected, participation numbers have begun to level off after the pandemic rebound, but participation numbers continue to still be very strong. The Fort Hill Activity Center continues to be a busy place with the total membership base now over 9,500 members. As we have moved into 2026, the usage continues to grow. In 2025, we had over 220,000 unique visits in the fitness center, which is up 14% compared to 2024. Fitness center usage is up 14%, track usage is up 19%, and group exercise is up 11%. With the return of the college students, the holiday usage was also up by 4%, so just an overall very busy place. Once again, Magical Starlight Winter's Theater production was a big success. Over 3,000 tickets were sold for the production of Shrek, and we received many very positive comments. Staff are preparing for the first annual Glow in the Snow event, which will take place on Saturday, February 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. at Central Park. The event was designed to give families the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors during the winter for just a brief experience. Families can enjoy a stroll through the park under the twinkle lights, or they can play a few games, learn about animal habitats in winter, and of course enjoy hot chocolate. And finally, with the winter session of programs underway, staff are now beginning to prepare for the spring-summer programs. Many of the summer camp programs will be featured in the spring program guide, so planning is already underway. Any questions?
Shrek was amazing.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
So I've heard a lot of people say that. So,
and I'm so excited about the new event. It's such a cute idea. Thanks to you and your staff. For
yeah, we'll
putting
see
that
how
together.
it goes.
I got so excited.
With a winter event, you just never know what
yeah.
you're going to get. So it'll be interesting. We feel like it's a great opportunity. It's 2 hours. People can just come out and even just walk around and be around others. So it'll be good.
Families are always looking for ways to get out of the house when
This
it's cold.
is true.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. Our next meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners is scheduled for February 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here at Fort Hill, and we will now move into executive session. Thank you.
Move to adjourn to executive session to discuss the setting of the price for sale or lease of property per Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Risbald?
Yes.
Vice President Anzier?
Yes.
Commissioner Balkrishna?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
President Ruffing?
Yes. Thanks, everyone. Stay warm.